Hello and welcome to the class on forces changing gene and genotype frequency. We have studied Hardy-Weinberg law of genetic equilibrium. This law states that in a large random mating population, in absence of selection, migration and mutation, the gene and genotype frequencies remain constant from generation to generation, and the genotypic frequencies are determined by gene frequencies. So it is very much clear from the statement of Hardy-Weinberg law of genetic equilibrium that if the population undergoes selection or migration or mutation, or it is having small size, then the gene and genotype frequency will not remain constant. It will change. Today we will see how mutation is responsible for change in gene and genotype frequency. Sudden change in the structure of a gene is termed as mutation. Mutation creates new allele in the population. It may increase the frequency of an allele and simultaneously it can reduce the frequency of other allele. Suppose there are two alleles, dominant A and recessive A, at a locus in the population, with initial frequencies of P and Q respectively. Dominant A allele mutates to recessive A at the rate of U per generation, and recessive A allele mutates to dominant A at the rate of V per generation. Then, after one generation, there is gain equal to U multiplied by P due to mutation dominant A to recessive A, and the loss will be equal to V multiplied by Q due to reverse mutation of recessive A to dominant A. What is mutation rate? When we say dominant A allele mutates to recessive A at the rate of U per generation, and if the mutation rate from dominant A to recessive A is 10 raised to minus 3, which equals to 0.001, or which is equal to 1 out of 1000, it means that one dominant A allele mutates to recessive A out of 1000 alleles in one generation. Therefore, U in this particular case will be 0.001. When we say recessive A allele mutates to dominant A allele at the rate of V per generation, and if the mutation rate from recessive A to dominant A is 10 raised to minus 5, which equals to 0.00001, which is equal to 1 out of 1 lakh. It means that one recessive A allele mutates back to dominant A allele out of 1 lakh alleles in one generation, and therefore V will be equal to 0.00001. Now the change in gene frequency of recessive allele small a, that is Q, will be calculated with the formula delta Q is equal to U multiplied by P minus V multiplied by Q. Now this situation leads to equilibrium in gene frequency at which there is no further change in gene frequency. The point of equilibrium can be found where the change in gene frequency, that is delta Q, equals 0. In that case, UP will be equal to VQ. Therefore, equilibrium value for recessive A allele can be obtained by equation VQ is equal to UP. By taking P as 1 minus Q, we can get the final value of Q is equal to U divided by U plus V as an equilibrium value for recessive allele. Similarly, the equilibrium value for dominant allele can be calculated with the formula P is equal to V divided by U plus V. Based on this talk, we have an exercise as a homework for you. This problem states that in a population under random mating, the initial gene frequency of dominant and recessive A alleles is 0.4 and 0.6 respectively. The mutation rate from dominant A to recessive A genes is 6 per 1000 and the reverse mutation rate from recessive A to dominant A gene is 1 per 1000. Based on this information, calculate the change in gene frequency due to mutation in one generation and also estimate the gene frequency at equilibrium. Thank you.